Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I am creating with Arteza TwiMarkers. It's a beautiful 48 pack of water-based markers and a stamp set from Penny Black called the Sweetest Song. I'm going to use these markers in several different ways and play around with them and try to get a hand-painted watercolor look. I'm really excited about using a new product. The Arteza markers come in the 48 pack. It's part of Arteza's premium line, and there's lots of information on the back. All of the colors are listed, and they have their color codes on the barrel as well as on the back of the packaging. One thing that stands out to me about these is that I can tell the color by the clear barrel, and there's two brush heads for either one of these markers. The colors are very vibrant, they're very on trend. The brush end can be used for using calligraphy or for coloring like I'm doing today, or you can use the very fine point end that we will use as well. This stamp set is called the Sweetest Song, and it's from Penny Black. I've stamped it with antique linen distress ink to get a very, very light color so that I can get a no-line watercolor look. I'm first going to take some yellow and lay down yellow over the branch area because I want the yellow to be an undertone to the brown. This is going to give me a nice, warm, rich color that will set the trend for all the rest of the coloring. So by first laying down a thin line of color onto the watercolor paper, that would be the brown, and then using a wet paintbrush or a water brush to move and activate that color, then it gives a very pretty watercolored look. And it's very controlled because it's a brush end, and it will allow me to put color where I want. Now I'm using the opposite end, which is extremely fine point. And look at how it makes the details here on the branches. And then I've got a few squiggle lines just to show exactly what kind of details we can get out of this marker. Really, really pretty and very easy to use. So I'm going to mix some colors next by adding a light green on all of the leaves, and then using a darker green just at the bottom or the base of each one of those leaves, and then come back in with the water brush and mix them together. I'm not bringing the dark green all the way out to the end of the petal. Instead, I would like a little bit of that light green to remain. This is the same way that I colored the branch. And moving on to the blossoms, I'm using two pink colors in exactly the same way. So working on these different colors on the same image is showing me that there is a consistency, and I can mix the colors on the watercolor paper very well and very easily. I can use the long end, the long brush end, to get the color down a lot quicker, and then use that very fine point end to make just the tiniest little finite details, which is really handy whenever you want to add some special touches to a piece of art that you're coloring. Moving on to the birds, I'm going to use some really vibrant colors on these to see how the colors are going to mix together on a larger image. So I'm first using an orange color and then using a very beautiful and vibrant blue. I'm going to activate this color to fill in all of the spaces that the marker did not hit, and then I'm going to go back in and add purple and get some really pretty purple details mixed in. And as you can see, it keeps the watercolor look throughout all of this coloring. I've used a yellow to bring the beak and then go down to the throat of the bird, and I must say, I very much like how these markers behave on the paper. I also am impressed with the way that they behave together. I have used previously some some more water-based markers from Stampin' Up. They're called Stampin' Right markers. So I guess my point of basis would be, do they work as well as the Stampin' Up markers? And I would say absolutely yes. The one big difference is that the very small fine tip is even more fine than the markers that I've used before that were from a different brand. And I like being able to get that very, very fine point there. And the colors are unique and they're very vibrant and on trend. I can mix the colors together as I'm doing here with the yellow and the green, and diluted in this fashion, they work very well to bring a nice, easy background. Something that I noticed is that the colors reactivate very easily as well. So if I wanted to go in and add something to the images, then I could get that color that's already on the paper to move around very easily. So I used another one of those markers to add some details. Now here is an antique frame die from Penny Black, and once cut, that just kind of, sometimes when I'm coloring a large image like this, a panel, I don't know how to mount it onto a card base. And this is a perfect solution, is to just give it that nice rough antique edge, and that will allow it to go and be mounted and it looks like it's okay. So I've added a few more details. I'm coloring in the bird's feet, and I colored the eyes, and now I'm going to add a sentiment. The stamp set that I used from Penny Black did not have a sentiment, and this needed to be a birthday card for my niece. So I have stamped and heat embossed this onto some gray cardstock, and the stamp set is from Altenew. It's called Birthday Celebration. And now I'm going to mount that panel onto antique ivory cardstock from Hero Arts. The colors in the background very much match the ivory or vanilla color, and I fussy cut the sentiment to just lay directly on the card base, and I've added some sequins. All of the products that I've used today are listed with links down in the video description. There's also a 10% off coupon if you would like to purchase this set of markers from Arteza. It's listed in the video description, a link plus the coupon code, and I hope that this would help you to be able to get this product at a more affordable price. Thank you all for joining me today. If you have any questions about the project that I've shared today, please leave a comment below, or if you really like the video, I'd love to hear about it too. Thanks again and have a great day.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.